Hey guys, this is Dimitri and welcome back to another Hieroglyphs review. We're checking out the Throne, a massive and a really heavy full tower from Rosewill, priced competitively for a full tower at $160, but still very premium price to pay for an in-house brand. For example, the latest Phantom full towers from NZXT are a lot more feature packed and are actually less expensive, also bringing in the very popular CM Striker or the Trooper and some of the latest fractal design cases, and the price tag becomes less and less appealing. So let's see if this case holds the throne in this insanely saturated arena of full towers. As you can see, the aesthetics suit the name with this medieval look. Obviously not for everyone, but it sure has character. Behind the front panel that seems a little too weak and wobbly, we find 3 optical covers with built-in dust filters. A reset button is awkwardly placed at the top, and we also have a front fan LED switch at the bottom of the panel. Taking the panel off, we have 2 front intake fans with a built-in dust filter inside the panel, which unfortunately is not removable for cleaning. Coming around to the side, this side panel has a massive mesh that accommodates either 4 standard fans or a single large one, which is included, that's a bonus, so side cooling certainly is not going to be an issue. The mesh also protrudes to fit with the aesthetics. It certainly isn't clean, but serves well for cooling and also allows better clearance for tall CPU towers that you might have. Taking a closer look at the back, we have an exhaust fan, 10 PCI expansion slots, lots of venting holes everywhere, even some for the area behind the motherboard tray. Now, you guys know I'm a huge fan of removable dust filters, and the Throne keeps us happy with an oversized filter that conveniently removes from the side. It is a high density filter, and it's unfortunate we don't see the same filter style at the front or the top. Now, one of the cool features of the Throne is the ability to open or close the top vents that not only are practical but give the Throne a more aggressive look. The mechanisms seem robust, and while closed it will prevent against settling dust, and while open allow a more efficient exhaust. Given the case is already so tall, placement of all the important connections is definitely questionable and absolutely undesirable. We do have 2 fan controllers with 4 fan supports each, 6 USB ports with audio jacks, a large power button, and a hot swap dock for both 3.5 and 2.5 inch drives. It certainly is refreshing to see 6 USB ports and a docking station, but be aware of your space, as placing a Throne under a desk just won't cut it. Now, it is very disappointing to see all the connections attached to the top panel and not to the frame. And another disappointment is the lack of any clearance for fans to be mounted above the frame because of the supported plastic bits. There's certainly enough height for fans, so unless it's user modified, you won't be able to fit a secondary row of fans. Alright, let's take a look inside. Really nothing unique to note here. Seems like a standard chassis with a massive drive cage. I mean, why not make it modular? This is targeted for gamers and not for servers. Plus, say goodbye to front airflow, as that's mostly blocked by the cage. Drive caddies here are metal, so not a toolless assembly, unfortunately. On one hand they are sturdy, but on the other it will require a screwdriver for installation. Now, luckily additional fans can be installed on the drive cage to help channel front intake, and an extra bottom fan for improved cooling. And out of the box, the Throne manages to hold up pretty good in terms of airflow, with a total of 6 fans included. Now, the Throne really is a mix between excellent and poorly designed features. For example, having a ton of quality rubber grommets is always helpful, with toolless optical mechanism on both sides and an included 8-pin CPU extension. However, they did cheap out on these extremely poor and unreliable standoffs for your power supply. And my major complaint here is the lack of any reasonable cable management for a full tower. There's an inch of room in the back, but nowhere to tuck your cables because of how the side panel sits on the case. But that's not even it, there's only 3 cable tie notches. Now, who thought this was a good idea? So I would recommend to stay away if your patience is thin. Plus, for a full tower, the Throne internals feel a little tight, with almost no room between the memory and the top fan. So beginning with wire management, this is definitely one of the more difficult cases to work in because of the poor design, but our GTX 590 fits in just fine, and you can see despite some hassle the internals look very clean. Flipping the case around, there are many unsecured cables, but I did manage to close the side panel just fine. So to wrap it up, the throne, aside from the looks and great airflow out of the box, does not impress, because it doesn't offer any type of gaming oriented features aside from its size. The drive cage isn't modular, spacing at the top is very limited, so goodbye water cooling, and my main disappointment is a lack of user-friendly cable management. Providing just rubber grommets doesn't cut it, especially at this price point. So thanks guys for watching. Like this video if you want Rosewill to perhaps improve on their next design, and we'll see you in the next one.